Tell them to move on.
I would now like to introduce our final speaker. He has been outspoken since November regarding the board's leadership. He channeled his frustration into action and decided to run for a seat. And in July, he began his 3-year term on the Penn State Board of Trustees. Please welcome Anthony Lubrano.
Thank you. I love all of you. I don't know how I follow these speakers. I'm reminded of something actually that Joe said after he won his 400th game, and we gave him
That's great.
a little token of our appreciation on the field. No, that was his 400th win, not his 409th.
Took them all back.
And he had they're at the house, and they had an impromptu ceremony on the field. And I don't know how many of you recall, but he said, "People have asked me why I've stayed here so long." He paused and he said, "Look around. Look around." That's why I'm doing this. I'm not going to reiterate much of what's been said, but I am going to say this to you. This is our school, our school. I don't know who many of the people I serve with represent, but I know they don't serve you well.
Yeah.
But I have to work with them, and in the confines of that, I have to be somewhat guarded in my remarks, although for those of you who know anything about me, you know that I'm a shrinking violet, and I try to be cautious in what I say. What you should know about me is that no one's going to outwork me, and there's a standard now we're going to set on this board, and that standard is going to be up here.
Yes.
And if you're not going to work with us, then get the hell out of the way. On January 10th, not long before Joe passed, I had an opportunity to spend quite a bit of time at the house. He'd just come back from a chemo treatment. My mom died last December of lung cancer. January 10th, I had a chance to spend quite a bit of time with Coach Paterno, Joe, at the house. He'd just come back from a chemo treatment. My mom had passed in December of lung cancer, so I had just gone through this. And when I got to the door, Sue asked me, I wanted him with or without hair, because at this point he'd lost his hair. And I said, of course, I don't need that. Came into the bedroom, and what struck me the most about Joe wasn't that it was about Joe. He said to me, he always called me kid. I guess we're all kids to Joe, right? He said, "Kid, remember, this isn't about me. This is about our school, and this is about leaving it a better place than we found it." Now, this is a man who in 12 days would be dead. And his greatest concern was for our school. Our school. Our school. And so it's unfathomable to me that a group of people, many of whom spent not days, not months, but years working with this man, could conduct themselves the way they did. That's right. Just unfathomable to me. But they did, and we're paying the consequences as a result, and we have to deal with it. So how do we deal with it? What do we do next? Believe me, I would love nothing more There's no question, if you read the Senate Daily Times today, you know how I feel about that. Because if we're going to assail Joe Paterno for a leadership failure, then we have to look in the mirror and ask ourselves, did we fail the university as well? It's already been pointed out that several members of this board had knowledge in advance and did nothing with that knowledge. I'll let you decide whether that's a breach of fiduciary responsibility. Now, over the next months, I suspect they're going to attempt to muzzle me more by changing some of the rules. But you're smarter than that. They tried that in April. Lanny Davis attempted to smear me in the Philadelphia Inquirer. But you folks saw through that. See, what they didn't figure was that you got educated at Penn State. And when they hired Lanny Davis, they hired a Washington insider, not someone who knows this Penn State community. And Lanny Davis's mindset was, get it behind you as fast as you can and move forward. Their idea of us healing is just to move forward. Well, we cannot move forward by leaving behind the people who made us who we are. We have two ways to effect change on this board. You can vote, or you can use the telephone, your emails, your texts, and contact your legislators, for those of you who are in Pennsylvania, because we need legislative reform. The composition of this board is very unwieldy. You have 32 members. Only 9 of them are elected by the alumni. Only 9. And 3 on an annual basis. So your opportunity to affect change is 3 per year as alumni. The business and industry trustees, however, have a different process. Any of you can apply for a business and industry trustee by making an application in the trustee's office at Old Main. The challenge you face after you do that, however, is that those applications are then reviewed by a subcommittee within the board. And then they pick 2, and they recommend 2 to the full body. This past year, they re-elected the 2 incumbents.
Ooh, surprise.
Now, I'm pressing for openness and transparency because, well, we're in a period now of openness and transparency. As someone told me, your priorities are not what you say, but rather what you do. And I'm from Missouri, so you sure as hell better show me. So I'm going to hold their feet to the fire. And that means that for people who make application for business and industry trustee, I think we should have the ability to review those applications. And in fact, I think that information should be readily available on the openness website or the trustee website. Not too complicated, it's not asking for much. The third group of people are the governor-appointed trustees.
One-term Tom.
Yeah.
I don't know who's advising him, but it seems to me like his days are numbered.
Yep.
But they're only numbered if those of you who can vote in the state of Pennsylvania get out and vote. And the first way you can impact that office is this November. I'm a registered Republican. But that's a label. It means nothing. I live in a county in Pennsylvania where the Republicans dominate. My mother years ago said, if you want to work in this county, then you should be a registered Republican. But that doesn't necessarily define who I am. But in this election, if the Democrats gain control of the Attorney General's office, will go a long way to understanding what's happened here, for people to investigate the handling of this affair. But you have to get out and vote. Our greatest asset is in our numbers. 600,000 thereabouts. I told the folks at Penn Staters for Responsible Stewardship when they asked me what can we do, I said you can get larger. You're at 12,000 now, we need you at 20,000. We need you at 50,000. That's where your strength is. You just have to have that group coalesce. Individually, it's going to be very frustrating. I knew going in as a trustee the challenges I would face, but I accepted them readily. But I knew going in. I haven't developed a tick yet, but when it happens, you'll know we're in trouble. But I need all of you. You can make a difference. You can make that impact that Joe implored all of us to make. And the way you make that impact is when you vote. Whether it be for statewide office, whether it be for Board of Trustees, you make that difference. I'm going to leave you with just this thought, and the thought is that this is our school. Our school. Our school. Our school. Don't ever forget, we know who we are. Don't ever forget, we are Penn State! Thank you very much. Enjoy your day, folks.
Good morning. My name is David Mullally, class of '69. Absolutely. Two little things, and then we'll hopefully go off and see our first official sanctioned win since 1997. I have to repeat and emphasize what a number of people have said here today. Okay. Where are we going to go with this? We have no idea. Honestly, we have no idea. That is going to be on you folks. That's the truth. In times of crisis, some people who may be common everyday folk stand up and decide they have to do something. They have to act. And there are a lot of people here. There are more that wish they could have been here, by the way. But it's on you. We need good followers, we need good leaders, but we need people to stand up for the university and try to make some changes. One last thing. I would like to try the chant that we all know, but I'd like to change it a little bit. I would like the people on this side of me to be the first group. They're going to be the we are people, except there's a little change I'd like to try. You guys over here, you got the easy job. All right? You guys are going to do what you always do. But you folks over here, I'd like you to say it differently. I'd like you to say it, we are. I'd like the emphasis to be on we. Okay? So, we are Penn State. Just do it a couple of times, and we'll move on to football. All right? Ready? We are
Penn State!
We are
Penn State! We are Penn State!
Thank you, folks.